I made one phone call. The venue called my brother. Mr. Davidson, the anonymous donor who paid for your reception has withdrawn funding. The balance of $89,000 is due immediately. How was I going to explain to my brother that the anonymous donor who'd been bankrolling his dream wedding was actually me, and that I just canceled everything? Let me back up to explain how we got here. My name is Marcus Davidson, and I'm a software architect living in Austin, Texas. I'm 38 years old, married to my wife Keisha for 12 years, and we have 3 kids, Jordan 10, Maya 7, and little Caleb 4. We live comfortably, not extravagantly but well. I've worked hard, made smart investments, and built a good life for my family. My younger brother Tyler is 29. He's always been the charming one, the life of every party, the guy everyone loves. He's also been financially irresponsible his entire adult life. Failed business ventures, credit card debt, living paycheck to paycheck while maintaining a lifestyle he couldn't afford. 6 months ago, Tyler got engaged to his girlfriend Amber. I liked Amber, she seemed practical, grounded, good for Tyler. When they announced the engagement at family dinner, everyone was thrilled. We're thinking a spring wedding, Tyler announced, his arm around Amber. Something big, you know? All our friends and family. Really celebrate. Mom beamed. Dad raised his glass. I smiled and congratulated them, but I noticed the slight tension in Amber's shoulders when Tyler said, "Something big." After dinner I pulled Tyler aside. "Hey, congrats again. Have you guys thought about the budget?" Tyler waved dismissively. "We'll figure it out. Maybe a small venue, keep it simple." "Tyler, you just said you wanted something big." I know. We'll make it work." Translation: he had no plan and no money. 2 weeks later I got a call from Mom. She was crying. "Marcus, Tyler just told me they might have to elope. They can't afford the wedding they want. Amber's family can't contribute much, and you know Tyler doesn't have savings." I offered to help, but Dad and I are already stretched thin with his medical bills. Dad had been dealing with heart issues. Their retirement savings were taking a hit. "Mom, don't worry about it. Let me talk to Tyler." I called my brother that night. "Tyler, what's going on with the wedding?" He sighed heavily. "Man, I don't know. Amber wants a real wedding. Her family, her friends, the whole thing. But venues are insane. The cheapest place we found that could fit everyone was $40,000 just for the space and food. We don't have that kind of money. What if someone helped you?" "Who?" "Mom and Dad can't. Amber's parents are maxed out." "I'm not asking you, Marcus. You've got your own family. What if I wanted to help?" Silence. Then, "Marcus, I can't ask you to." "You're not asking. I'm offering. But here's the deal. I'll fund the wedding, but it stays anonymous. You and Amber can't know it's me." "Why anonymous?" "Because I don't want you feeling like you owe me something every time we see each other. I don't want family dinners to be awkward. And honestly, I want you to feel like you made this happen, not like Big Brother had to rescue you again." Tyler was quiet for a long moment. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. Tell Amber you got a bonus at work or something. Find the venue you actually want. Plan the wedding you dream about. I'll handle it behind the scenes." "Marcus, man, I don't even know what to say." "Say you'll throw one hell of a wedding and make Amber happy." He laughed, voice thick with emotion. Yeah, I can do that." Over the next 4 months, I became the secret architect of Tyler's dream wedding. He'd tell me excitedly about their plans, the lakeside venue in Hill Country, the band they'd booked, the photographer, the flowers. What he didn't know was that I was the one actually paying for all of it. I worked through a lawyer friend who set up everything to appear as if Tyler had a mysterious benefactor, supposedly an old college friend of Amber's who'd struck it rich and wanted to anonymously give them their dream wedding as a gift. Tyler and Amber believed it completely. The total cost? $89,000. Venue, catering, bar, band, photographer, videographer, flowers, decorations, everything. It was more than I'd planned to spend, but seeing Tyler's excitement, hearing Amber cry with joy when they secured their dream venue, made it worth every penny. My kids were excited too. Maya had been picked as a flower girl. Jordan was going to be a junior groomsman. Even little Caleb would walk down the aisle carrying rings on a pillow. They'd been practicing for weeks. Then, 3 weeks before the wedding, I got the text. Tyler asterisk hey man, need to talk to you about the wedding. Me asterisk what's up? Tyler asterisk so. The venue has capacity issues. Fire code stuff. We're over the limit. Me asterisk okay, so cut some people from the guest list? Tyler asterisk yeah, we're working on it. But we need to make some tough calls about who comes. Me asterisk makes sense. Do what you need to do. I didn't think much of it. Trimming a guest list was normal wedding planning stress. 2 days later I got another text. This one was different. Tyler asterisk Marcus, this is hard to say, but we need to keep the wedding to close family and friends only. Adults only actually. The venue's too small. Your kids can't come. Family only. I stared at my phone, rereading the message 3 times. Me asterisk my kids aren't family? Tyler asterisk you know what I mean. Adult family. It's not personal, man. We're cutting all kids under 12. Me asterisk Tyler. My kids have been planning for this for months. Maya's your flower girl. Jordan's a groomsman. Tyler asterisk I know and we feel terrible. But we literally don't have space. It's the venue's fault, not ours. We'll make it up to them, I promise. Me asterisk how many people are you cutting? Tyler asterisk about 15 kids total. Everyone understands. It's just how it has to be. Me asterisk everyone understands? Have you told them yet? Tyler asterisk we're sending out messages tonight. Look, I know it sucks, but Amber and I talked about it for days. We need this day to be perfect and having a bunch of kids running around. It's just not the vibe we want. Not the vibe they wanted. My children, his niece and nephews weren't the vibe. I took a screenshot of the conversation and went to find Maya. She was in her room, practicing walking with her flower basket. Daddy, look, I can walk super slow now just like the video showed. My heart broke. Sweetie, come sit down. I need to talk to you about something. I showed her the message. I watched her little face process the words. Her eyes filled with tears. But Uncle Tyler said I was going to be his special flower girl. He promised. I know, baby. I know he did. Did I do something wrong? No. No, you did nothing wrong. She cried for an hour. Keisha tried to comfort her, but Maya was devastated. Jordan was confused and hurt. Even Caleb, who barely understood what was happening, picked up on the sadness and started crying too. That night, after the kids were finally asleep, Keisha found me in my office. Tell me you're not actually considering still paying for that wedding. I looked up at her. What? Marcus, I know you. I've known since the beginning that you were the anonymous donor. You think I didn't notice $89,000 quietly moving out of our accounts? You think I didn't see you coordinating with vendors? You knew. Of course I knew. And I supported it because you were doing something generous for your brother. But this. She gestured toward the kids' rooms. He just told your children they're not good enough for his special day. And you're still going to pay for it. I made a commitment. To someone who just broke his commitment to his own family. Marcus, I love you. I love your generous heart. But sometimes being generous means knowing when to stop letting people take advantage of you. I sat back in my chair thinking about Maya's tears. About Jordan's confusion. About little Caleb crying because everyone else was sad. Then I picked up my phone and called Andrew, my lawyer friend who'd handled all the anonymous arrangements. Andrew, it's Marcus. I need you to withdraw the wedding funding. All of it. Are you sure? The wedding's in 3 weeks. They won't have time to. I'm sure. Cancel everything. Send the cancellation notices tonight. Marcus, this is going to create a situation. I know. Do it anyway. The next morning my phone started ringing at 6:47 a.m. Tyler. I let it go to voicemail. He called again. And again. By 9 a.m., I had 17 missed calls and a dozen texts. Tyler asterisk Marcus, call me now. Tyler asterisk something happened with the venue. Tyler asterisk they're saying the donor canceled everything. Tyler asterisk we owe them $89,000 immediately, or they're canceling the wedding. Tyler asterisk Marcus, please pick up. I waited until 10 a.m., then called him back. Marcus. Oh my God, Marcus, everything's falling apart. The venue, the caterer, the band. Everyone's calling saying the donor pulled out. They want payment immediately. We don't have $89,000. What are we going to do? That's rough, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry? Marcus, my wedding is in 3 weeks. Amber's hysterical. Her parents are trying to help, but they can't cover this. Mom and Dad definitely can't. I don't know what to do. Have you tried calling the mysterious donor? We don't know who they are. That was the whole point. It was anonymous. Marcus, please, can you help us? Can you loan us something? Anything. You know, it's funny, I said carefully. I would love to help. I really would. But I've got my hands full over here. What do you mean? Well, I've got 3 kids who are pretty upset. See, they were supposed to be in a wedding, but they got uninvited. Told they weren't important enough. That they didn't fit the vibe. Silence. So I'm spending this weekend trying to cheer them up. I continued. Maybe take them to that water park they've been asking about. That'll probably cost a few $1,000s. Family vacation, you know. Because my family is important to me. All of them. Including the ones under 12. Marcus. Tyler's voice was barely a whisper. It was you. You were the anonymous donor. I was. And you pulled the funding because I uninvited the kids. No, Tyler. I pulled the funding because you told my children, your niece and nephews, that they weren't family enough for your wedding. That they didn't matter as much as your vibe. Marcus, I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? Because from where I'm standing you took my money for months, $89,000 of my money, while planning a wedding that excluded my children. Did you think about that? Did you think about how I'd feel watching you spend my money to throw a party my kids weren't welcome at? I didn't know it was your money. Would it have mattered? If you'd known, would you have suddenly decided my kids were worth having there? He didn't answer. Here's what's interesting, Tyler. When you thought some random rich guy was paying, you had no problem excluding children. But now that you know it was your brother, the one who was making your dream wedding possible, suddenly it feels different, doesn't it? Marcus, please. Amber and we talked about it for days. We genuinely thought we had capacity issues. Funny thing about that, I interrupted. I called the venue yesterday. You know what they told me? Your guest list was at 185 people. The venue capacity? 250. You had room for 65 more people, Tyler. There was no capacity issue. Silence again. So you didn't exclude my kids because you had to. You excluded them because you wanted to. Because you wanted an adults-only vibe. And you know what? That's your choice. You can have whatever kind of wedding you want. But you can have it on your own dime. Marcus, I'm begging you. Maya cried for an hour, Tyler. Your flower girl, the one you specifically asked to be in your wedding, cried for an hour when I showed her your text. Jordan, who's been practicing his groomsman walk, asked me if he did something wrong. And Caleb, who's 4 years old and barely understands what's happening, cried because everyone else was sad. That's what your tough decision did. I'll fix it. I'll re-invite them. Marcus, please, I'll make it right. Oh, now there's suddenly room? Now that your funding disappeared, suddenly you can find space for your niece and nephews? That's convenient. That's not fair. What's not fair, Tyler, is asking me to fund a wedding that excludes my children. What's not fair is taking advantage of someone's generosity and then spitting on their family. What's not fair is treating kids like they're disposable because they don't fit your aesthetic. Keisha appeared in the doorway listening. She gave me a small nod of support. Marcus, Tyler's voice was desperate now. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. But please don't punish Amber for my stupidity. This is her dream wedding too. Then Amber should have had better judgment in who she's marrying. But that's not my problem anymore. So that's it? You're just going to destroy our wedding. I'm not destroying anything, Tyler. I'm simply choosing not to pay for a party my kids aren't welcome at. You want this wedding? Figure it out. Scale down. Go to a courthouse. Take out loans. Do whatever you need to do. But do it without my money. Mom and Dad are going to be devastated. Mom and Dad are going to understand that you made a choice, and choices have consequences. You chose venue aesthetics over family. Now live with that choice. I can't believe you do this to me. That made me laugh. Actually laugh. You can't believe I'd do this? Tyler, I gave you $89,000. I paid for your entire dream wedding anonymously so you wouldn't feel obligated to me. I did that because you're my brother and I wanted you to be happy. And you repaid me by telling my children they don't matter. So yeah, I'm doing this to you. Because you did it to yourself. I hung up. The next week was chaos. Tyler called everyone, mom, dad, cousins, family, friends, trying to rally support. The narrative he pushed was that I was being vindictive and cruel, destroying his wedding over a minor guest list issue. But Keisha had another idea. She called mom and told her the whole story, how I'd been the anonymous donor all along, how much I'd spent, and exactly what Tyler had said about the kids. Mom called Tyler. That conversation, from what I heard later, involved a lot of yelling in Spanish. Dad called him too. Then Amber's parents called after hearing the story. Suddenly, Tyler's support network evaporated. 2 weeks before the wedding, Tyler showed up at my house. He looked awful, exhausted, desperate. Can we talk? Please. I let him in. We sat in the living room. Keisha stayed nearby, protective. I've spent the last week trying to figure out how to fix this. Tyler started. I've taken out loans. Amber's parents contributed what they could. We've cut everything down. The venue agreed to let us use a smaller space. No band, just a DJ. No videographer. Simple flowers. Budget catering. We can probably pull together something for about $15,000. I said nothing. And you're right. About all of it. I was an entitled asshole who took your incredible generosity for granted. I hurt your kids, my own niece and nephews, because I was so focused on having this perfect Instagram-worthy wedding that I forgot what actually matters. Which is family. The people who love you. The people who show up for you. His voice cracked. The people who anonymously pay for your entire wedding because they want you to be happy. Maya appeared at the top of the stairs, watching silently. Tyler saw her. Maya? Can I talk to you for a second? She came down slowly, cautiously. Tyler knelt down to her level. Maya, I need to tell you something. I made a really big mistake. I told you that you couldn't be my flower girl, and that was wrong. It was so wrong. You are one of the most important people in my life. And I hurt you because I was being stupid and selfish. You said we weren't the right vibe, Maya said quietly. Tyler winced. I said something really dumb. The truth is, there is no right vibe without you and your brothers. You guys are family. You're my family. And I'm so sorry I made you feel like you didn't matter. Do we matter now? You always mattered. I just forgot that for a little while. Will you forgive me? Maya looked at me. I nodded slightly, leaving the choice to her. Will I still get to be the flower girl? If you still want to be, I would be honored to have you. And Jordan and Caleb? Both of them. And any other kids whose families want to bring them. I'm rewriting the whole guest list. Family first. Real family. The people who actually care about me. Maya considered this, then looked at Tyler seriously. You have to promise not to uninvite us again. I promise. Cross my heart. She hugged him. Tyler looked at me over her shoulder, tears in his eyes. After Maya went back upstairs, Tyler stood. I don't expect you to reinstate the funding. I know I destroyed that trust. But I wanted you to know that I get it now. I understand what I almost lost. Good, I said. Because that $89,000? I'm putting it into college funds for Jordan, Maya, and Caleb. People who actually appreciate family. Tyler nodded. They deserve it. They deserve so much better than how I treated them. Yeah, they do. For what it's worth, Tyler said at the door. You're the best big brother anyone could ask for. Even when I don't deserve it. The wedding happened 3 weeks later. Smaller venue, simpler everything, but it was nice. Maya was the flower girl, wearing the dress she'd been practicing in for months. Jordan was a groomsman. Caleb carried the rings. During his speech, Tyler did something unexpected. He told the whole story, leaving out the dollar amounts but explaining that someone had offered to fund a dream wedding, and he'd almost destroyed that gift through his own selfishness. I learned something important, he said, looking at me. Family isn't about perfect moments or Instagram photos. Family is about the people who show up for you even when you don't deserve it. The people who love you enough to call you out when you're wrong. And the people who give you chances to be better. He raised his glass. To my brother Marcus, who taught me what really matters. And to Maya, Jordan, and Caleb, thank you for forgiving your uncle when he was being an idiot. The room laughed. Maya beamed. Keisha squeezed my hand. After the wedding, as we were leaving, Amber pulled me aside. Marcus, Tyler told me everything. All of it. What you did, what he did, all of it. Amber, you don't need to. I do. Because I want you to know that I had no idea Tyler was planning to exclude the kids. When he told me, I pushed back, but not hard enough. I should have fought him on it. I should have seen how wrong it was. You didn't know about the funding. That doesn't matter. What matters is that we hurt children who loved us. And we almost destroyed the most generous gift anyone's ever given us because we were chasing some fantasy of perfection. She looked at Tyler across the room. I'm glad this happened, actually. Because now I know who I'm really marrying. Not the guy who made that terrible decision, but the guy who owned up to it and tried to make it right. 6 months later, Tyler and Amber came to Sunday dinner at our house. It had become a regular thing. Every other week, family dinner, kids included. Tyler was doing better financially. He'd taken a second job and was actually building savings. He'd learned to cook and brought over a lasagna he'd made himself. After dinner, while the kids played outside, Tyler handed me an envelope. What's this? Open it. Inside was a check for $5,000. Tyler, what? It's a start, he said. Obviously I can't pay back the full $89,000, and honestly you told me you put that money toward the kids' college funds anyway. But I want to contribute. This is the first installment. I'm going to send you $5,000 every 6 months until I've paid back what you spent on the wedding. Tyler, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Not because you asked for it, but because I need to. I need to show you and show myself that I understand the value of what you did. That I understand what family really means. I looked at the check, then at my brother. You know what? Keep it. What? Keep it. Put it toward your own savings. Build your life with Amber. That's what I actually wanted all along, for you to be stable and happy. Marcus. But, I interrupted, there is something you can do. Anything. Maya's birthday is next month. She wants a big party at that trampoline place. Jordan wants a new bike for Christmas. Caleb starts preschool in the fall and will need supplies and clothes. Tyler smiled. You want me to show up for your kids? I want you to be the uncle they deserve. The uncle who remembers their birthdays, who shows up for their school plays, who takes them for ice cream and actually listens when they talk. That's worth more than any check. Tyler grabbed me in a hug. Deal. Best deal I've ever made. Watching him play with my kids in the backyard later, I thought about how close we'd come to losing this. How one text message had almost destroyed years of family bonds. But sometimes people need to lose something to understand its value. Sometimes the best gift you can give someone isn't money. It's the opportunity to realize what really matters. Tyler learned that lesson the hard way. But at least he learned it. And my kids, they got their uncle back. The one who actually showed up. That was worth more than $89,000 any day.